Japan's evolving security posture is entering a decisive decade, shaped by rising geopolitical tensions and growing recognition within Japanese society that the country must adapt its defense capabilities to a far more challenging environment. Over the past 2 years, Tokyo has approved its highest defense budgets since the Second World War, accelerated procurement of long-range missiles, expanded deployments across the Nansei island chain, and begun building an industrial ecosystem capable of sustaining a modern counterstrike force. The shift is not cosmetic. It represents a structural transformation in how Japan intends to deter threats, support regional stability, and protect its national interests in a competitive Indo-Pacific. The heart of this transformation lies in the development of long-range strike capabilities, a domain that Japan historically avoided due to constitutional constraints and a political culture centered on exclusively defensive defense. Today, however, policy, technology, and public sentiment are aligning toward a more proactive posture. The reason is straightforward. Japan faces a strategic environment in which adversaries field thousands of long-range missiles, rapidly expanding naval and air forces, and increasingly assertive operational patterns around Japanese airspace and territorial waters. Relying solely on point defense or short-range interception no longer provides credible security. Deterrence now requires the ability to disrupt an opponent's attack sequence before it fully materializes. At the core of Japan's new counterstrike architecture is the upgraded Type-12 surface-to-ship and surface-to-surface missile. The new variant extends its range far beyond the original system, adds guidance improvements for precision against moving and land-based targets, and is deployable from mobile ground units, surface ships, and potentially aircraft. More important than the hardware is the shift in doctrine. Japan's defense planners envision the Type-12 as part of a wider network of sensors, command systems, and surveillance assets designed to detect and neutralize hostile forces well before they approach the Nansei Islands or threaten Japanese infrastructure. The missile's extended reach supports a broader strategy that includes modernizing the maritime self-defense force. Japan's new generation of frigates, including the Mogami-class and the next FFM series, scheduled through 2028, will be equipped with vertical launching systems capable of firing long-range interceptors and offensive munitions. These vessels reflect a move toward a more agile fleet with higher magazine depth, greater survivability, and better integration with allied forces. In practice, this means Japan will possess ships capable of contributing to sea control, area denial, and regional stability far beyond its immediate coastline. The air domain is undergoing parallel modernization. The F-15JSI upgrade program significantly boosts Japan's air-to-air and air-to-ground capabilities, with improved radar, electronic warfare systems, and compatibility with long-range munitions. The F-2 fleet remains an essential asset for maritime strike operations, and Japan's participation in the multinational sixth-generation fighter program signals ambition not only to retain air superiority, but to shape the technological future of aerial combat well into the 1930s. Combined with new unmanned systems, early warning platforms, and space-based sensors, Japan is laying the foundation for a comprehensive kill chain that links detection, tracking, and long-range engagement. These capabilities are centered on the Nansei Islands, the most strategically exposed region of Japan. Over the past decade, Tokyo has reinforced radar stations, built new garrisons, and deployed anti-ship and anti-air missile units across Amami, Miyako, Yonaguni, and Ishigaki. The rationale is clear. These islands lie near critical maritime routes and sit close to areas where foreign forces regularly conduct flights and naval patrols. Establishing a resilient defense network there is essential to delaying, disrupting, or deterring hostile operations in the early stages of a crisis. Long-range strike weapons enhance this posture by extending Japan's ability to respond well before threats reach the islands. The ripple effects extend far beyond Japan's borders. Regional actors, particularly China, view Tokyo's Counterstrike doctrine as a sign of Japan normalizing its military role. Increased air sorties, joint naval patrols with Russia, and diplomatic messaging reflect Beijing's discomfort. Yet from Tokyo's viewpoint, the objective is not escalation, but stability. Deterrence through strength reduces the likelihood of miscalculation and offers reassurance to partners across Southeast Asia who depend on secure sea lanes and predictable regional dynamics. Public opinion within Japan, while still divided, is shifting in favor of stronger defense measures. Surveys conducted after recent public statements by Japanese leadership on the Taiwan contingency indicate that nearly half of respondents support the idea of exercising collective defense or participating in limited conflict scenarios if Japan's security is directly threatened. Younger generations, exposed to persistent news of missile tests, airspace incursions, and geopolitical uncertainty, tend to view defense investment as a practical necessity rather than a historical taboo. Nonetheless, concerns remain about constitutional limits, potential entanglement in regional conflicts, and the long-term implications of expanded military roles. These concerns intersect with practical challenges. Japan's defense budget, estimated at approximately 8.7 trillion yen for fiscal year 2025, represents the highest level since the post-war period and raises questions about fiscal sustainability. Recruiting for the self-defense forces remains difficult due to demographic decline, and building a robust defense industrial base requires long-term investment, regulatory reform, and stable procurement pathways. There is also the persistent issue of disinformation and the rise of polarized political narratives that complicate public debate about national security. Despite these challenges, Japan's strategic trajectory is clear. By the mid-2030s, Tokyo aims to possess a credible, long-range strike force, a modernized navy equipped with vertical launching systems, an upgraded air force with advanced munitions, and a next-generation fighter program entering maturity. All of these elements support a single, overarching objective: strengthening deterrence so effectively that conflict never occurs. In a region where military capabilities are expanding rapidly and the risk of miscalculation is rising, Japan's shift toward proactive defense reflects both necessity and strategic foresight. Japan is not seeking confrontation, nor abandoning its commitment to peace. Rather, it is redefining how peace is preserved in an era where threats operate at greater range and speed. Long-range strike capability is not the abandonment of Japan's post-war identity, but its adaptation to a new era. A Japan that can deter effectively is a Japan that contributes to regional stability, protects its citizens, and upholds the rules-based order that the Indo-Pacific depends on.